So this video is going to show the proper rocker geometry setup, pushrod length and all that on an LS based engine. We already have a video doing this on a conventional small block, but this is a little bit different on the LS. This is a 6-liter block, L92 cylinder head, so LS3 engine here. That was not right. The thing would not rev and it has a lot of problems. So I'm going to bring Craig in here with Race Engine Systems and he's going to show what's going on with this thing and how to correct it and how to set it properly. Tell me what you got going on.
So we're going to run through a rocker geometry sweep with this tool I made here. So we have the head installed like it would run on the engine. We have a test spring on here. We have the lash set like you would run. I've got the tool zeroed. And what this tool is actually measuring, it's on the roller tip right here. And we're going to actually measure the motion of the roller tip in relation to the valve tip center line. And we're going to watch this guy in a race engine like this or any engine would start at the 0 point, and then as the valve is open, it sweeps out, and then as we get too closer to full lift or at full lift, we'll sweep back in, and then it does reverse on the way closed.
As I mentioned, so you never want it to come inside of center, right?
Of zero. What we call zero would be center.
Center of the valve.
Center of the valve. Well, it's not so much center of the valve because they're not always perfectly centered.
Yeah,
but as far as the starting point.
So you never want to cam inward.
What I call camming over.
Okay.
Back over center from where our starting point is. So we're at 0 right now, and when you eyeball it, it's in a reasonable location to valve tip. So we'll slowly start turning the engine over. So we're starting to open. So we're sweeping outward. So we're about 15 thousandths out from 0. So we started at 0, and then as we continue to, as the valve continues to open, we're back now at 0. So that would be a 15 thousandth sweep if that's all the motion it had, but it does not. So now anything past 0 is considered a cam over or past center line of where we started. So we're continuing to open, 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 and right about there, we're about 50 thousandths behind where we started, which was indicated at 0 on the tool. So that's 50 thousandths cam, what I refer to as a camming over situation where we're actually behind where we started. So instead of the rocker having a nice even motion, we're actually getting behind where we were supposed to be.
Behind your center line, your start point.
Behind center line, which is a really bad situation for rocker geometry. What's even worse is you would not be able to see this with the naked eye or with using a Sharpie and just running a pattern on the tip of the valve. It would indicate about a 60 thousandths wide pattern, which is pretty normal for a performance engine. So you would not have a way of knowing that this situation is happening. So
this engine, just so you know, I mean, besides the shaft mounts, it has a standard length LS pushrod in it.
Standard length valves, standard
length
LS3 head with stocking valves.
Nothing crazy.
Hardware.
Pretty much what you would run if you're pulling this off to put an engine together. This is pretty much stock configuration. This is a stock ratio rocker. Like this is pretty much what you would have. These stands, where it's at right now, it has a shim in here, which comes with the shaft mounts. So on a stock rocker, it should be similar to where a stock rocker would bolt.
And that's with the stock pushrod.
So yeah.
People would assume that that's correct, and these shims come with a kit. With a lot of shaft mount kits, they have shims.
So now he's going to show how to correct this problem we're having here.
So what we did is we removed this stand shim here, which is about 80 thousandths thick. And now we put the stand back down on the head, and we reset our gauge at 0.
So no shim right now.
No shim. Stand on the head, lash set like the engine runs. We shorten the pushrod about 50 thousandths. We put the cup back in position in the range that T&D wants it to be in.
Before the cup was too far screwed out, down. So now we brought it back up to where T&D wants it under 2 turns.
So now we're going to run through the sweep here and see what we have. So valve is opening. We're at about 30 thousandths. And then now we're continuing to open to full lift. And right there, we're at full lift. If we had a dial indicator on here showing that would be at full lift. I can just see with the eye. And at full lift, we are back to where we started. And then as we close, we do the reverse, 30 thousandths. And coming up to close, we're at 0.
So now when that sweep that it just did, now it didn't, what do you call it, cam over?
Cam over. We started at 0.
Yeah.
And we swept out 30 thousandths max.
So the rocker stayed out.
Correct.
And pushed.
Swept out 30, came back at full lift to 0 where we started.
Right.
And then the reverse of that on close. It actually does a double motion. It goes 0, 30, full lift back to 0, and then on close it does the reverse. 30 out and back to 0 close.
No more camming over now. It's not trying to lock the valve open.
We minimized our pattern we almost cut that in half.
Right.
We were a 60 thousandths pattern, and now we're at a 30 thousandths total pattern. 0, 30, 30. So if you were to measure that, you would have a very narrow pattern. It's almost nothing
on the tip of the valve.
Which is what you want it to be. That's considered perfect.
That's the correct way to check it and set it up.
So on this particular engine, how much do we shorten the push rod to correct that?
For our test here, we shortened it 50 thousandths.
Over stock.
Over stock.
Stock LS length.
Every engine's going to be different until you have your final head gasket thickness,
right, yeah, head gasket.
and your valve job or whatever's been done by whoever's done it. Your tip heights change, the head gaskets change, so you have to do a final check, and you would normally do that by putting the adjuster cup approximately 1 to 1.5 turns out from bottomed out. You would turn it out 1 to 1.5. TD recommends 1 to 1.25 out. And then you would set your push rod length based on the distance from your cup being out to your lifter being at bottom dead center. And you would set it that way, and do not use the push rod as a tool for changing geometry on a shaft system like this. It's just for connecting the knots.
So if this was a standard stud mount, what would be different on that and set it up?
A stud mount, the push rod length affects the rocker geometry completely.
Because it torques to the head.
It's not a fixed. The rocker's not fixed to the head, and then the push rod's connecting the knots. On a stud rocker, the push rod length affects how the rocker slides up and down on the stud. In theory, you could take this head off and put it on the bench and use a dial indicator and run through your valve lift 600, 700 thousandths on the bench with a dial indicator and set the rocker geometry with the head not even bolted.
And then just figure out your push rod length.
Just figure out your push rod length once you put the head back on.
So the push rods that were in here, the stock length, you can see that they were kissing the head on full lift when it came up. And now it's hard to see, but now if you look in here, it's not touching it at all anywhere. With the closed, it's more towards the bottom of the head, and then a full lift now. It's plenty of room. So it took care of 2 problems at one time.
And that's another note is you have to inspect every cylinder head with your particular rocker combination and push rod combination and make sure that the rocker's not hitting the head and or the push rod's not contacting anywhere inside the cylinder head, because it's very common to have to grind the cylinder head and or grind the push rod clearancing hole.
Oblong a little bit.
Oblong the hole from factory.
So this is how far it was screwed out before, because we didn't unscrew these when we just took the rockers off the stands. If you're running the shaft mounts, see these nuts, they're at a little bit of different angle than what the valve cover would be. Before, with the shim in here on the stand, this was up a little bit higher, which made
kind
it
of like this, where that nut is right there.
Yeah, but no, the actual rocker, it kind of kicked it, so it was a little bit better. But you can see on the valve covers here that I was running that the nuts hit every rocker. The nut hit the valve cover because of the angle of where it's coming down. Little tidbit: if you're running the shaft mounts, you're gonna have to give your valve covers a little buzzy there, a little cleanup.
One thing we also want to mention is once we just check this intake. But you always want to check the intake and exhaust. So we would move this tool to the exhaust side, run through it. We already checked it and it's good. Most LS engines have tip heights that are the same between intake and exhaust, but a lot of engines do not. So you always want to make sure you check and do not assume that they're the same, because you could get bit. You could have a valve that's a little bit longer, and that would change the rocker geometry and push rod length. So be sure to check both sides. And if anybody would like to have one of these tools, this is a tool that I'm making at Race Engine Systems. I'm calling it the Perfect Sweep Checker. And if anybody would like one, you can reach out to me and let me know, and I can get you one.
This video is proudly sponsored by Race Engine Systems.
So that is how to properly set rocker geometry and push rod length and check all that. See, Craig already got started on pulling the head. He's getting those things, man. He's getting busy with it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Come on back. See how this thing turns out.